Let's talk about MW2's DMZ mode on the OG Verdansk map, old plans, future updates for the mode, and much more. Be sure to subscribe for more COD update videos like this. But first up here, exclusive, Activision had a working DMZ build before Warzone devs even started on Verdansk. Now that's kind of crazy here. When Warzone burst onto the scene in early 2020, it took the Battle Royale genre by storm, of course, dropping 150 players into one giant map and having them fight with Call of Duty's pristine FPS fundamentals proved to be a recipe for success. More than 100 million fans jumped into the game during its initial boom period, helping Activision generate billions in revenue. However, it turns out the widely popular BR formula wasn't actually first in line to break the traditional multiplayer molds for the COD series. Rather, a more tactical game mode was surprisingly built first, though one that didn't see the light of day until 2022. Confirming earlier rumors that Warzone 2's new DMZ mode had been in the works for quite some time, devs revealed to us at Dexerto they indeed had working prototypes before work even began on Warzone's original Verdansk map, which is insane to think about. Originally, seemingly as early as 2018, Infinity Ward felt ripples and saw trends in the FPS market they wanted COD to capitalize on. One such example was the rising popularity of more tactically focused, survival-based games such as Escape from Tarkov. Thus, the idea for a demilitarized zone, DMZ, came into focus. The concept as it was 5 years ago largely remained intact for what we now have in Warzone 2 today. Dozens of players dropped into a vast open battlefield, engaging with AI, securing loot, and extracting valuable goods before doing it all over again on repeat. Devs were actively playtesting COD's take on this style of FPS before work began on the first Battle Royale iteration. We actually had working prototypes before we started making Verdansk. Multiplayer design director Jeff Smith told us he felt that was a direction we needed to go. We felt those trends that early, but we didn't have the bandwidth to execute on it at the time. In a different timeline, it seems there's a very solid likelihood DMZ could have reached the market long before Warzone, or at least during Warzone. Devs had the foresight to begin planning many years ago, though ultimately pivoted to focus on what would become a massively successful BR instead. In general, good game development is to try crazy, scary stuff. Smith joked after revealing DMZ's early origins. Part of the gig is to keep tabs on the industry as a whole, check in on the competition, and see how new ideas can come to life under the COD umbrella, he explained. Just trying different things. Sometimes they're first person, sometimes they're third person, sometimes they're one life, sometimes they're respawn, sometimes they're console or PC. IW's Joseph Seacott continued, always playing and looking at what's there. It's just like anyone who writes books. They read a lot of books. Anyone who makes TV, they watch a lot of TV. So you kind of want to know what you're getting into yourself and how you could stand out. Given how early DMZ was clearly being experimented with, there's really no telling what the COD devs may have already been planning for the next few years, evidently beyond just annual releases themselves, but even more expansive franchise-defining modes could be very well in their prototype stages today. So that is absolutely unreal to think about here. There's a lot of stuff to break down. So first of all, I like that they're always trying to innovate here, and right now there could be another huge, mode that we don't know exists yet that in a couple of years will change the landscape yet again, like Warzone did back in 2020. I think for the most part, Warzone was a success to Call of Duty. It definitely increased the popularity of the game. Now, you may say that there's a lot less MP content and a lot less love for other parts of the mode, and a lot of love is given to Warzone, but I think over time, as these studios get bigger, we're going to see more equal love given to all different types of COD modes: MP, zombies, campaign, Warzone, etc. But of course, what I'm really interested about is the evolution of a DMZ, what we're going to see for future updates here, and what was DMZ originally being playtested on, because the first version of DMZ, of course, they're saying started back in 2018, 2019. That, of course, is probably right around, or they say right before, but it's got to be the same time in which they started the development for Verdansk. I mean, that was the time when they were trying to innovate, I guess, and figure out what they wanted to do next, and there are pretty good chances here that DMZ was either playtested. I don't know if IW was working with Treyarch with this. Obviously, maybe they used the map, for example, but imagine DMZ, because during that time, Blackout was out, or Blackout released late 2018. So if they were developing that at that time, DMZ could have been, built on the Blackout map, but more likely than not, DMZ was originally being built on the Modern Warfare 2019 assets. Of course, they started developing MW19 right after Infinite Warfare came out 2016, right? Or maybe 2017. Yeah, it was 2016. So those next couple of years, 2017, 18, and 19 were the MW19 dev years. So if they started DMZ development right around that time, DMZ was originally being play tested and just played in general well on Modern Warfare 2019 maps and probably Verdansk maps as well, and most likely just the MW19 ground war maps. And if you guys don't remember, a lot of the MW19 ground war maps were points of interest on Verdansk. You know what I mean? So that is insane to think about. I think if DMZ first came out, if they gave it a little more love and dev time, if it first came out alongside of Warzone back in March of 2020, that would have been so cool, honestly. It would have given such an explosion of growth to DMZ and the normal BR genre as well. And DMZ is doing well this year. And I feel like a lot of people do prefer it than the normal Warzone 2 BR experience. But imagine if DMZ launched right when the OG Warzone launched as well on Verdansk. I mean, DMZ would be in such a crazy spot right now. It would be unreal. So I guess in hindsight, it was still a good decision to focus on just BR and kind of scrap DMZ, leave that on the side because Warzone was such a success back then. But having DMZ, they were playtesting it, they were ready to do something with it, and they just decided to focus fully on BR. But, you know, having DMZ on Verdansk back in 2020 would have been unreal. But is it still possible? That's the question here. So before we go through some more stuff on this, we have a quick word from the sponsor of today's video. All right, guys, so we're playing 8-Ball Master, a free-to-play browser game through Game Hollywood. We talked about them recently. They have a bunch of free-to-play games available. Pretty quality stuff here, and this one's coming out very soon. This, again, is free-to-play. There's going to be a pre-registration I'll talk about any second with rewards you could get, a championship match as well, a ton of cool stuff. But right now, I'm just playing just the basic classic match here. It's, of course, really simple to play here. Using my mouse, you're going to aim exactly where you want to get this ball to go to, so I have that right there. You're gonna click left click on mouse here and then drag right or left for the power. So you can see right here my force is gonna be pretty high. I don't want to go too high here because this is a pretty easy one. I'll do that. Yeah, that was perfect. So we're gonna have another chance here, and it tells you what to hit to, but we're just gonna have to go for a full force. I'm just gonna hit that there, see what I get. Definitely want to try to win this game here. You got one, and we're playing like real life people as well. You connect to a local server and you're playing actual players, which is pretty sick overall. So let's get this one. This should be pretty easy. Get that in. Okay, that was kind of close, but we got it. Actually, oh no, see, I didn't aim it properly. I'm still gonna win this game though. Oh no, actually, wait. No way, bro. What's a guaranteed for later? I'm low key, and the 8-Ball's right there. No way. Pretty rough. Oh, that was so lucky. I'm gonna bounce this and then watch this, guys. No. All right, guys, look, I tried my best. All right, so even though I got destroyed, it still is a pretty fun game to play. Again, hop on your browser, check it out, pre-register right now. The following 3 pre-registration rewards can be obtained simultaneously. So newbie rewards here, you're getting $15 worth of in-game items, a common lucky ball, gold, elite box, spin tickets. The gold is used to actually, you know, go through matches and queue up with people, do higher stake matches as well. You have elite and master there. And there's also going to be a Super 8-Ball championship coming soon as well. Compete with pool fans all over the world to win cash and game items. That's starting very soon on May 22nd, 2023. You're getting $1,000 for first place, $500 for second place, $200 for third place, probably some more stuff as well. A physical pool queue as well, free shipping. That's actually kind of fire. So again, be sure to check it out, guys. Links will be down below in the description and in the pinned comment. Really fun game here. Thanks again to Game Hollywood and 8-Ball Master for sponsoring today's video. Now, of course, Verdansk is completely gone now. We're not seeing the map anytime soon, or though we may seem so. Obviously, if you guys don't know, for Warzone Mobile, that Warzone map is Verdansk. Verdansk is returning for Warzone Mobile. It looks really cool. Every Warzone Mobile update we get, the graphics get better and better. It looks pretty solid, and I think it's getting better and better again with every update. What I'm seeing, I mean, the gameplay looks insane for a mobile game. So Verdansk is returning a little bit. If you want to play on Verdansk, you can play on Warzone Mobile. I wonder if DMZ is going to be added to Warzone Mobile eventually. Probably not at launch, but I think eventually it is possible if DMZ is still popular or becomes even more popular. But of course, we want DMZ on normal platforms, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So even if DMZ is added to Verdansk on Warzone Mobile, that's not exactly what everyone wants to see. Now, there have been rumors of Verdansk returning to the base game. We've had Warzone surveys, Activision surveys, talking about, I think the question was, do you want Verdansk to return? How likely are you to play Warzone if Verdansk returned? And a lot of people obviously were, you know, saying yes, because most people do prefer Verdansk. It could just be nostalgia. There could be players that prefer Al Mazrah. I'm not so sure, but I think for the most part, even casual players enjoyed that map, that Warzone 1 experience more than Warzone 2. Let me know down below if you're not one of those players, if you like Warzone 2, if you like Al Mazrah more. I mean, I like Al Mazrah for DMZ, but for the base Warzone game, I don't know. It's not the most fun, but we're talking mostly about DMZ here. So, you know, DMZ, it is what it is. I think Verdansk DMZ, though, would be so fire. Doing DMZ missions, DMZ exactly how it is right now, but on the Verdansk map, would be unreal. So let me know down below, just overall, do you want to see that? Do you not want to see that? Let me know. But I think overall for DMZ and just for BR in general, bringing Verdansk back might be a good decision to bring players back into Warzone. Players have left Warzone in droves since Warzone 2 came out, so that would be a pretty good marketing play. And also, just in general, having another DMZ landscape to play on is so cool in general. Now, for the future, obviously, I think what would be optimal is keeping multiple maps on at once. So, of course, Las Almas, the new Warzone map, should be releasing around fall 2023. That would be a map that, you know, most likely replaces Al Mazrah right now. What would be good, at least for DMZ, I think for normal BR, this wouldn't work as well because the playlist would be spread way too thin. You wouldn't be able to find a lot of players, and it would be too much to manage. But for DMZ, I think they could have a situation where DMZ could have multiple maps on at once, where you still have Al Mazrah you could access, or it might be PvE, so it's not as intense on the servers. But regardless, you can still play on Al Mazrah, you could play on Las Almas, and then you could get Verdansk as well, PvE, just because probably if everything's PvPvE, it might be just so difficult to maintain those servers. But if all of those maps are added to DMZ just as PvE, player versus environment, player versus AI and bots, that could be sustainable. That could make a lot more sense, and that would be a ton of fun for DMZ players. So I think it's entirely possible. Let me know down below your opinions on that. Of course, again, it seems like the origins of DMZ was for Modern Warfare 2019 assets, MW19 maps, Verdansk. I mean, DMZ, I just wonder what it looked like and how it played on that game. It was a super early version, so I'm assuming there probably weren't even any missions, very little stuff. It was just a bare bones concept back then, and they quickly decided to scrap it, of course, for the, you know, Warzone 1 BR we know now, of course, with Verdansk. But it's crazy to think that DMZ could have been on Verdansk, could have been in Warzone 1, could have been that main thing they focused on alongside or maybe instead of the BR mode. I don't know. It could be really cool. So let me know down below if you want to see Verdansk in DMZ. If it's possible, I think it is possible. Maybe not right now, but next year, next couple of years, could be something they do, especially if Warzone 2 still doesn't manage to get players back into the mode. Las Almas, if it's another failure, they gotta figure something out. If Las Almas is also a failure, that's gonna be a big deal, and maybe releasing Las Almas alongside of Verdansk as well for Warzone and DMZ could be a good play, kind of like releasing Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, getting players that don't like Infinite Warfare on the other game, and you're still spending money for them. They're still making money, and they get some, you know, nostalgia, some remastered content, and for the people that want the new content, they can play that new content as well. So maybe that's a good compromise. I don't know. Let me know down below your opinions on that. Be sure to subscribe for more COD update videos like this. Be sure to join the Discord down below. Kick down below for live streams as well. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.